go for any of it. Karl Rove is here, former Deputy Chief of Staff to President George W. Bush, also a Fox contributor. Karl, I saw Larry. I was talking to him by the coffee machine earlier, and I told him I was going to quote him, and I thought I'll do it one better. I'll just roll the tape. But do the Democrats know it's dead? Are they paying attention?
I don't know. Heisenberg?
I think they figured that out a little while ago, and now they're trying to figure out how to resurrect parts of it and see if there's
they went from 5 hours, 6 hours out. They turned it into cancer immediately today. But it's been dead for 2 days. I heard it yesterday, maybe even some whispers of it too.
Well, he's indicated an openness to some elements, for example, the child tax credit. But the child tax credit is written in the Build Back Better bill. If you ran it for 10 years rather than 1 year like they had it in the bill, would chew up all the $1.7 trillion in additional revenue they came up with. So, he has said, I want a work requirement, and I don't want it to be available to people who make more than $75,000
the internet
a year.
in itself still hooked up as soon as I type in how to do a forward YouTube video. Right, YouTube? M2? The internet that is the internet through this pinchip configuration.
But I think it's highly unlikely that we will not see Build Back Better, and it's highly unlikely that we'll see something of the $1.7 trillion.
Well, again, I kick out Ben Eater as the number. Amazing how he laid that out. But again, there's some stuff about the first one you set up. Even if you have a super clean breadboard like that in a box, ready to ship to you with all the parts, every wire, from a computer engineer.
Because Biden has tried to
hook up the wires.
Pointing the finger at Jay Powell over at the Federal Reserve, even talking about the dual mandate at the Fed.
Now do it for nothing.
Quite clear
just
that
a breadboard and the wires you have, a VCR you cracked open, Gilligan's Island out there with the professor
out of
and
this
the
world
skipper.
That they would still try to spend money when the real problem for Americans is inflation and wages that are falling when adjusting for that.
I hate to be that cowboy as the hippie here, but
the wrong problem. The president said, well, the problem is the concentration
we have horrible
in the meat
return on our
industry,
efficiency for diminishing a return on all of our stuff, let alone whether it be a tin cook and the right route to repair. But sometimes you get into that Fed about the John Deere not being able to right to repair. F-35.
Expanding
COVID vaccinations, some wide end index Shep put out. The one, I haven't heard much from the business since COVID without a patent standard. Now maybe it's good and it's science and it covers that shit. Maybe it was just a higher vitamin C concentration that cuts it down on calculus.
And almost as many, 50-some-odd%, disapprove of his handling of the economy. So even though we got economic growth and supposedly we've got jobs, and
CNBC, the other guys are catching on. I catch them hard for sharps on going at it like that with CNN and the Democrats. You could lose by not doing that and doing a stupid fist fight with people that you have some moral shit about, which is all in the office. Bloody Washington.
We're not getting enough credit for this record job creation. Biden tweeted
the
this
meanest
morning.
Old girl in Washington.
He didn't. Clearly, but it was the President of the United States' Twitter account.
Well, that doesn't do great when all I see is sunshines and rainbows coming out your ass and everybody says you're a murderer on the other side. Well, that's not great for volatility in your index.
3.6 million jobs short of the pre-pandemic levels, and as I said, inflation's at a 40-year high, and wages are falling. Real wages.
Yeah, look, we're not dumb.
Okay.
People know what's to the degree that we got the good things happening. It's because the private sector is struggling to come back and succeeding. But yeah, you're right. We know of people in our lives who've not gotten back to work and gotten a good job. We know of people in our lives who
watch them go out there and almost be totally upside down on the index like they thought nobody was going to show up. I mean, it's like,
the grocery store,
was that something that I missed on the news?
Much higher. We get an increase in our wages maybe once a year. We're paying higher prices every month at the grocery store.
I mean, I'm just every once in a while new words about like service, something, free cash flow. You know, even though they're good, it's a big play for you, and he kind of does look like a marshmallow.
And aren't as concerned with, and when they don't
I
seem
light
to
them up
understand
hard.
the
Usually,
facts
sometimes I try the best, but you wouldn't notice the difference anyways.
I have an idea,
and again, you get a little bit better where you're really noticing what's going on, helps pin it in, put the pattern screamer there for a little bit longer, phase it into the duality, the polarizations.
And cared about falling real wages.
X-ray,
they could actually
infrared,
take the
neural
stance, and
net,
it would
heart
turn
rate
the
monitor,
party
the
on its head
whole.
potentially.
You
They
get
love
sweating,
raising
palmer,
taxes,
you know,
but
it's
they
just
could be for raising
Oppenheimer face
revenue
reactions.
and cutting spending. And cutting, and if they did
Well,
that,
you
it
do
would
it.
take
It's set
some of
up
the
hard.
heat
I mean,
off
if
the
it's
Federal
supposed to be
Reserve.
trained at the
And
high
it
level
would
for
help
sentinels being
you
stone
force
faced with
people to
rubber
get
chick
back
and
to
stuff,
work. You know,
you would
the
imagine
student
that's
loan
about
payment
contextual
delay,
about being in
that's putting
situation,
more
about
money in
charging a
people's
bluff
pockets.
and getting
You
it.
start cutting, you be about higher taxes and cutting spending, that'd be a new Democratic Party, and it would help fight inflation, but they won't do it.
Teaching MIT.
Yeah, they won't because they can't get the votes to get
Human
it done
behavior.
without having virtually every Republican and a handful of loyal Democrats vote for it. You know, you mentioned the moratorium on student loan paybacks. Think about that. We're taking
There's a
money
little field of bunnies
from a
and
working man, a
foxes and
working woman
populations
who's never
that
gone to
kind of keep
college
it symbiotic
in order
and
to cover
in
the
your meta
interest
room
costs
for a
of
soldier.
loan
If
that we
your
gave to
your
somebody who
meta
went
dude
to
ain't got a shaved
college.
profile,
And
then I
is it
know
all
for
likely
sure
that
you
making
didn't
more
shave
money
yours
as a
today
result of
because
that? I
then
mean,
the checklist.
talk
But
about
meanwhile,
screwed
it just
up.
masses you
Every
out.
study we
And that's
have
supposed to.
is that
There,
these
it's supposed to. I don't
moratoriums
care
on
if
student
it's
loans and student
a
loan
Russian
forgiveness
tank, a
benefit
Chinese
people who,
tank.
inordinately who are at
Heat
the upper
vac
scale
breaks
in
on
our-
that thing,
in
you
our
could
country
become a
and not at the
lieutenant.
lower
And
scale
fuck
doing
it up
or
and
even in the
squeak
middle
about it
scale.
too much, and I got
Carl Rove, you're the best.
Getting declined for a new credit card